Welcome back, folks, to the video number 5 of our video lecture series on Excel. In today's class, we will talk about VLOOKUP and XLOOKUP. Now, VLOOKUP, as the name suggests, in this, we are trying to look up for some value. And V means vertical direction. So we are trying to find out something in the vertical direction. So we're going to try and understand VLOOKUP with the help of an example. Now, here, I wanted to search the marks scored by a student A5. These are the names of the students, let's say, and these are the marks scored by the students in physics, chemistry, and math. And I wanted to search marks scored, as I said, by A5 in the physics course, let's say. So how I'm gonna search that? I'm gonna press equal to VLOOKUP. And as soon as I press the command, it asks me lookup value. So lookup value means I will refer to this cell which I'm trying to look for, comma, table array, where I'm trying to search it. I'm trying to search the A5 in this complete table, comma, column index number. Now this is asking me for column index number. So what does that mean? This is column number 1, this is column number 2, column number 3, column number 4. I'm trying to find the physics, the marks scored by the student in physics. So I will press 2 here and comma, it asks me for the true or false. These are the two options. True means when we are looking for the approximate match. False means when we are looking for the exact match. Right now, I wanted to search for the marks, exact marks scored by the student A5 in physics. That's what I'm looking for. So I will press the false here and press enter, close the bracket, and then that will give you the final answer as 56. So that's the mark scored by student A5 in physics. Now, if I'm trying to search his marks in math, so what I'm going to do is math is a column number 4. So I'm going to comma 4. That's what I'm going to press in here. Now, so whenever we are trying to search the data using the VLOOKUP, we need to pay attention to certain conditions. So these are the 4 conditions we should always pay attention to while using the VLOOKUP. So the first condition is the data should always be on the right hand side. What's the meaning of that? So if I'm trying to search the data, I'm trying to search the marks of the students. So the mark should always be on the right hand side of the names. In this case, I'm trying to search the marks for A5, and in case of math, physics, or chem, so the marks are on the right hand side of the names. If the marks are on the left hand side of these names, then the VLOOKUP will never work. That is the first condition. Second condition is data is space sensitive. What is the meaning of that? So if I press, let's say this is A5, and if I press a space, then press enter, and you will see it's not going to give me the information for A5 because there is a space here and then there is no space here. I need to press a space here also, then I'll get the information. Now, another thing I should notice also that the data is not case sensitive. The A is small, A is big. So it is not case sensitive, but it is space sensitive. So always make sure whenever you are playing with the bigger data, try and use the command trim. So you can always use this command trim, and you can remove any extra spaces which you might have accidentally left in while putting in the information in order. All right, so this is always a handy command to remember. Now, this third condition is take the absolute reference. So what's the meaning of that? Now, let's see. If I'm trying to find out the marks scored by student A2 and then A3, oh, well, I'll put it as A1 here. A5, marks scored by A5 is 59, and that's in math. Now I'm going to try and bring it down. Let's see what happens. So I've been able to see the student marks scored by student A2, but I haven't been able to figure out the marks scored by A1. Now, as I earlier said in the video number 1, that while using the Excel also tells us where you are making a mistake. Now I'm going to double click on this one, and I can see what's happening is that A1 is not in the selected area. Is A2 in the selected area? So yes, I was lucky enough to have the A2 in the selected area, so I was able to get the answer. And if I carefully see, that this table is moving one step downwards as I move in the downward direction. See here, I move two steps down here. So two steps down. So the table also has moved two steps down. So I need to take the absolute reference for my data. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the cursor between C and 5 and F and F4. In your case, it might be F4. And I will again place the cursor between F and 11 and then press F and F4. That's gonna give me the absolute reference for the data. And then I'm gonna move it in the downward direction. Now I can see the marks that the data is not moving. So this was the third condition, take the absolute reference. All right, let's try and apply the fourth condition. Data should be sorted in the ascending order. What's the meaning of that? So let's say if this data is given to me, this condition basically is applied when you are given a range. So here we are given a range of some numbers. So lower limit is given to me, upper limit is given to me here. And we can see this range start from 10 and lower range ends at 50 and upper range at 59. And I'm gonna try and search for number 44. Now, if I see the number 44 is not written in the lower range, neither it's written in the upper range. So in this case, I will try and use first of all the approximate match. This is a perfect question for the approximate match. Now let's start. VLOOKUP equal to VLOOKUP and which value I'm looking for? I'm looking for 44, comma, table array. I'm trying to find it in this table and comma, column index number. We are looking for the third one and comma, we are looking for approximate match. So I'll press true and close the bracket and that's going to give me correspond to 44. It is A1. Now, if this data was not in the ascending order, then I won't have been able to get this value. If let's say this was written at the row 1 in this table, then my answer would have been wrong. So I'm going to try and do that. Control X. Let me paste it here and I'll move this around. Control X. I'll move it Control V and Control X. Control V. Now, if I see correspond to the 44, it is A2 here, but it's giving me the answer as A1. So hopefully you understood what I'm trying to talk about when I say the data should be in the ascending order. Let's move to the XLOOKUP. So when we talk about the XLOOKUP, it can search the data both in vertical and also in the horizontal direction. Now, before I dive into the XLOOKUP, I just wanted to tell you there is something called HLOOKUP also, but we're not going to do it because rarely in the industry that one is used. So we're gonna try and learn about XLOOKUP. So XLOOKUP is more advanced version of the VLOOKUP, and XLOOKUP is only available in Microsoft 365. If you are using the downloaded version, you may not be able to use the XLOOKUP, but it's a really handy tool. It makes life very easy. So let's try and understand how does the XLOOKUP work. So remember the condition which we talked about, the data should be on the right hand side. With the XLOOKUP, the data can be on the left hand side. So I've intentionally placed the data on the left hand side. So these are the students and these are the marks scored by those students. And I can search the answer with the help of XLOOKUP, uh, even if the data is on the left hand side. So let's try and figure out what I am talking about. So let's say I'm trying to find out the marks scored by student A4, and I will use the command equal to XLOOKUP, and under the XLOOKUP, lookup value is this much, and lookup array. The way we are gonna collect the data will be a little different from the VLOOKUP. It's saying the lookup array. So I'm going to select this array. It's not asking me for the table array. Table means if it was table array, I would have selected everything. Now it's only asking me for the lookup array. This value I'm trying to look up in this array, comma, what do I want it to in the return? Maybe if I wanted to get the marks of chem, so I'll select this array. If I want to find out all the marks correspond to this particular student, so I will select the whole table. If not found, it gives me another option that NA, not applicable, or NP, I will say not present. NP. It has to be in the inverted comma. Whatever is in alphabet, if has to be in the inverted commas. Comma. I'm looking for exact match. Yes, I'm looking for exact match. And comma. I'm trying to search from upside down, means from upward from here in that goes to the downward direction. This is in this direction I wanted to search. So press 1 and close the bracket. That's gonna give me the answer correspond to the student A4. So I got the marks of physics, chemistry, math. If I would have selected only one array correspond to the physics or chemistry, then it would have given me only chemistry or physics marks. Right now I selected all the three arrays, so it gave me the marks. All the marks correspond to that particular student. So hopefully you were able to understand how does XLOOKUP work. Now I'm going to try and do a very neat exercise. We're going to try and develop some kind of a small program here where if I just change the name here and then also I change the subject code here, so it should give me the marks correspond to the name and the correspond to the subject code. That's what I'm trying to achieve now. Now, before I do that, I just wanted to show you, let's say if this was A9, what was the answer? A9, not present. All right. So A5. All right. Now here I will write the physics. Physics. So if you've noticed what XLOOKUP has done, XLOOKUP tried to search the information correspond to the A5 and then it selected from here, went in here and then spelled out all the information correspond to the A5. Now I want XLOOKUP to give me the information correspond to the physics and A5. So there are two constraints involved now. So how are we going to do that? So whatever I've done here, I will cut it, but I'll keep it intact. So Control X. Now I'll again start it. Remember this thing, we'll need this XLOOKUP, and then under the XLOOKUP, what I'm trying to search for, I'm trying to search for physics. Where physics is? Physics is down here. And what should be my output? My output should be, it should A5, and which we've already figured out. And that one, I will paste it, Control V, because that's correspond to this cell. Whatever is in this cell, spill out that information, comma. If not found, I'll say lost. Lost, close the bracket. Whether we are looking for exact mode, yes, we are looking for the exact match, comma, search from first to the last. Yeah, search from first to the last, press enter. So I can clearly see we got the marks in physics for A5. If I change it to A4 here, A4 scored A4 scored 55. Let's say in chemistry, how many he scored? Chem. So he scored in chemistry 95. That's a good job. So that's how we're going to use the XLOOKUP. Again, this is also a space sensitive. So if I place a space, then it give me lost because there is a space here. So hopefully you were able to understand how to use the XLOOKUP. And one more time, the brush up is for XLOOKUP, the data can be on the left hand side and you can still search the data. And for VLOOKUP, make sure you keep these four conditions in your mind whenever you are searching the data using the VLOOKUP. This is important. Okay, I'll see you with another video. Till then, goodbye.